Lesson 132, more about the dative of possession.
So, Bill, in this lesson, we're going to expand the dative of possession in two ways. First, we are going to talk about negating sentences, and then we're going to talk about using it in the plural.
That's right. In the last lesson, we learned a very simplified, perhaps the most simple way to say a dative of possession in Latin.
Right.
So now we're going to learn more ways to use that kind of general construction.
So to go back to the example we had in the previous lesson, and which is here on the top of lesson 132, est mihi equus, for I have a horse, or the more literal, there is a horse to me. Say I want to negate that and say that I don't have a horse. What would I do?
Well, I know how a horse would negate that sentence.
Nay.
Yeah, he would say nay. But
Right.
in this particular case, all we have to do is put the word non in front of the word est and say non est instead of est.
Exactly. And really, this is a form of creating a sentence you've known for a long time already. There's really nothing too terribly difficult here, is there?
That's right. All you're saying is non est mihi equus. There is not to me a horse.
All right, but we also said we'd talk about the plural. So what happens if we need to have more than one horse?
Well, in that case, we could simply say sunt instead of est.
Right. Sunt is a third-person plural verb.
And when you use it first in a sentence, it carries with it the idea of there are.
Right. So sunt, and then if I have the horses, we'll add the pronoun we've learned, mihi. And then what about the word for horses?
Well, if you have more than one of them, they need to be plural. And again, I'll point out this super important point that when you're using the dative of possession, the thing you're possessing is in the nominative case. So notice that equi is nominative plural.
Right, so the full sentence is, sunt mihi equi.
There are to me horses.
Or, the more colloquial, I have horses.
So if you wanted to say that you have horses, using habeo, you would say habeo equos.
Or equos habeo. Remember, we can change that word order around in Latin.
And then the word equos would be accusative because it is the direct object of the verb habeo.
That's exactly right.
But when you use the dative of possession, the thing you're possessing is not a direct object of anything. It's just a noun in the nominative case.
Exactly.